Oh, good morning, guys, and welcome to another week of following that silly yellow house down some of the most beautiful roads that America has to offer. This morning, we are waking up in the Mark Twain National Forest, which just happens to be my favorite national forest in the entire country. But unfortunately, our time here is coming to an end. Right now, Shane is getting ready to drive the Love Hut down these roads and venture through the rest of Missouri because we have a new adventure in front of us. Shane's got a brand new project with some old friends, and we cannot wait to share it all with you. This is gonna be a fun week, guys. You guys hang on and enjoy the ride. And also, be sure and comment below so that we know that you're riding with us. Also, be sure and hit those thumbs up and subscribe buttons so that YouTube knows it too. And just a few miles up the road, or maybe a couple hundred miles up the road, is the Shell Osage Conservation Area. And I think this is where we're gonna call home for tonight. It's not quite as far as we planned on making it today, but that's okay. We're closer to our next project than we were when we woke up this morning. And this is not a bad place to call home for the night. I wouldn't want to be here if all of these spots were full, but it appears we only have one neighbor all the way on the other side of the campground and a tent. And otherwise have the whole place to ourselves, which is pretty cool for 5 p.m. on a Saturday. Let's just hope it stays that way tonight. And also hope that that sky there produces some pretty colors for us to look at tonight.
Good morning, y'all. This morning I'm very tempted to go fishing instead of on our adventure today, but fishing will wait. This is a really cool conservation area. Missouri has a bunch of conservation land and it's utilized mostly for hunting and fishing. Not so much the recreation of camping unless you backpack in, and most of it you have to camp in these designated camping areas, which more often than not are just parking lots in the middle of nowhere. But this one's next to a lake. But we're about to say goodbye to it and go see a good friend of ours, or two friends of ours. We're gonna go see Megs and Freckles. We're gonna get to see them in a couple of years. And she bought a house that looks like the Love Hut, so we're gonna go park next to it. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
As all of us nomads out here on the road know that eventually the day might come where we have to trade in our home on wheels for the traditional sticks and bricks, whether that be for medical reasons or by personal choice. It doesn't matter, but I hope that when that day comes, our nomad friends still come and visit us. We couldn't be this close to our buddy Megs without stopping in and seeing how her and little Miss Freckles are doing.
Now you're stuck.
Wait a minute. You know what?
Yeah? Kelsey swears it held her food.
Lose the slippers like a true Hawaiian. Oh, Megs.
Well, that's a good thing.
I really wish it was clean in there so you were getting a good...
Right? It's full of laundry bags. Hooray!
Yeah! Woohoo!
That's awesome.
Okay.
Oh boy, that was a whole lot of fun, y'all. And now we are headed down the road to have a little bit different type of fun with another old friend, or a few old friends.
That's right. We are headed to see Bailey and her family. If any of you have been with us long enough to know who Bailey is, that is awesome. If you're new, make sure you go back and see who Bailey is and why that's important, because I built a bus for Bailey several years ago now, and I used a bunch of pallet wood. It was a work of art, I tell you, but she's bought another bus and she's asked me to come finish it. I have no idea what she wants me to build for her either. I just told her I would come. It's gonna be fun, Kelsey.
It is gonna be fun, and I cannot wait to see these ladies.
We made it back to the great state of Kansas. I love it here. I will say this time of year the skies are something to keep your eye on. We're gonna be dodging storms through this project. I've done this dance before. More particularly, the bus that I built for Bailey before was an awesome little bus. It was a tiny short bus. And there's a whole playlist of the process that we went through to convert that one out. This bus, we're gonna be doing the same thing, and we'll be adding these videos to that playlist, which means you'll be able to click on it and watch the whole process. Y'all check this one out. This one's a shuttle bus. And we just got here, so I'm just learning what exactly this bus is. It was started by someone else. And my job is to finish her up. Let's dig in. Y'all, I think we're gonna have a lot of fun in this bus. As I was telling Bailey as we were walking through it, you can literally see the traces of someone that works on residential buildings. You know, they flip houses or they do remodels, and then you take on a project like this and you try to apply all of those principles, and it just breaks your soul one decision at a time. And it's fun because I see decisions I've made along the way, and then I had to rectify them. And I see the previous owner, the builder of this, where they got stuck in a lot of things. So fortunately, I've been stuck in a lot of places before, and I have a solution to a lot of problems. We're gonna be doing a lot to make it pretty in here, but there's some good bones that we can use. Some stuff's gonna have to change though. That sheetrock right there, that's gotta go. You know, sheetrock will not work in these buses. I don't know if you understand how sheetrock is made, but it's basically, they take rock and they pound it up into powder and they shove it in between two pieces of paper there, and it's a nice hard surface until it gets wet, and then it falls apart. And buses be getting wet. Good morning, y'all. It is time to tear into this thing. We developed a plan of attack, which is guaranteed to go not the way that we planned, but you know, you gotta start somewhere. So we're gonna start digging in and see what we find. What's hiding behind this? We're about to find out. I like it. So what we got here is liquid nail on the back of some wood and then glued to the sheetrock, which that works in a house, no doubt. It comes off pretty easy already. And it looks like this wasn't put on very long ago. I don't trust liquid nail as much as anyone trusts liquid nail. I used to have a lot of faith in this product, but it always doesn't do its thing. I don't think we can blame it in this scenario though. Let's keep going. Uh-oh. That looks like mildew. I wonder what's behind this. I know there's a window. I don't know what else there is. I need to cut this. It's gonna be messy. I think I found the source of all of our water. It's the bus. The bus is leaking. Looks like we have 2 ports for electrical system that was put in. Those are not installed outside very flush, so water's coming in there. A big one is, it looks like this window was taken out because they were gonna cap off the back, you know. Then they changed their mind, but they lost all their screws. So they just put a couple in it on each side and called it good. There's about, I don't know, 30 screws that hold these windows in. They're awesome windows. They don't leak because they're a lip style design. So I'm gonna do my best to save this thing. But it's been pouring water in here. Good thing there's no wood on the floor. This is a weird thing to get excited about, but I'm excited because I get to show you what I keep trying to describe. As you can kind of see from the tail end of this bus, it's all fiberglass. There's no steel beams in it like there is in a school bus when you see us tear them apart. Some shuttle bus do have the steel frame. These are more creative. It's 2 pieces of fiberglass with cardboard. Now, defensively, this is much more insulated than just a steel wrap, steel frame. So, you know, bonus points there. But that means when you build things inside of these, all you can do is try to attach wood to the side of the fiberglass, or do what we're going to do, which is kind of pin brace things against the top and bottom. But as you can see, you do have quite a void in there to run screws through, but you got to get some sort of filler in there to hold them, because if you just run staples like here on these pieces of wood, eventually they just pull off. I don't want to damage that one, but it's not hurting anybody where it's at the moment. Let's keep learning. Y'all, if you can't tell, I'm perspiring a little bit. I worked my butt off today. But I can say for the first time, I finished gutting a bus in a day. Granted, I didn't take out the other half of the work. But this is the big area that we're going to be focusing on. I did find a functioning window in the wall that was leaking. We're going to replace the latches on it so they're nice and secure. And that way we have a nice ventilated window. Because just like the Love Hut, this whole thing opens. How could you cover that up? That one's leaking as well, and we're going to be fixing it. That one's leaking as well, and we're going to be fixing it. And then this is the wheelchair lift door, but it was never dealt with. So it was just letting moisture come straight in and to the back of that piece of sheetrock. But I've got a plan for it. We're going to get it all fixed up. We're going to go to the big box store tomorrow. Hang tight. I'm not gonna tell y'all good morning, but I'll tell you good day. I spent my morning with Bailey dreaming and discussing what we're gonna be turning this bus into. And we're gonna take the keen opportunity of this bus being completely gutted to make it look like just how we want it. So our plan got a little more extensive today, and I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna tell it all to you, there's a lot to tell. But I can tell you, I'm gonna start working on this roof. The most important pressing matter is trying to rectify this sagging ceiling. If we can't fix that, we can't do any of this. Whew, let's see how this goes. Look at that. I got that center ridge line right here. Back up. Let me show you how I did it. My design yesterday gave me some ideas, but it just didn't function properly. I was able to make, in essence, a rib cage to go here in the middle and push the old plywood that's buried inside of the fiberglass back up so that it recreated its ridge in the middle. So now I'm going to temporarily stabilize this, and I'll build walls under each end of it and turn, holding it up. One step at a time. Bailey found a pedestal seat. I believe that's out of a Ford Transit, actually. Looks like it was pulled out of a junkyard and they just cut it out of the floor of some wrecked van. But my goal is to put it here relatively close to the driving seat. Now originally, this bus had a deck that came all the way out to here. But all it holds on this silly piece of plywood that was that deck was that lightweight steel. And it was just screwed on. So I've removed it and I'm gonna cut this down and we'll be bolting this straight to the van frame, which is still here. Neat, huh? That sun is shining and Kelsey's serenading me with her banjo. Yet I'm tired. I did manage to get these lined up and this is where our little seat is gonna be going. I've got to get the hardware to get it all attached, so that's about as far as I'm going to take that seat. Because in the morning, I'm going to start framing up the walls that are going to be holding up this structure. So the idea here is we're going to have a security wall that goes up here. And that security wall is going to hold up this end of the support system. So this beam here disappears. And then there's going to be a wall going into the bedroom in the back, so that's going to go under that long 2x4 that you can see coming this way, and then that support will disappear. And then unfortunately I have to tear down this wall because it is just not a load-bearing wall. It'll still look the same, but it will work a lot differently. Let's see how much we can get done tomorrow.
So I heard a knock at the door and come out. And look here. Leo's hanging out in the yard. I think this boy knows that I keep treats in here. Is that what you're looking for, Leo? Are you looking for treats? Are you a hungry boy? Here you go. Oh, you're so sweet and gentle. You're such a good boy. And that is a pretty sunset.
Well, good morning, y'all. I'm back at it again today. Perspiring. You know, it's not even cold, or it's not even hot here. It's quite cool. It's just so humid. I forgot what humidity feels like, I suppose. Today, we're gonna keep moving forward. I'm working on cutting out this tripping hazard up here because we lowered the floor yesterday. And then I'm going to do my best to start covering all this ugly up. Because I need to see some pretty, y'all. It's Friday. Well, I've got as far as I can with this very elaborate structure that we have got coming together. But I'm out of long lumber. Nothing will reach to the ceiling, so I've got to go back to the store. Unfortunately, it's quite a ways from here, so I'm going to keep working on other projects. Now I'm starting in on the windows. And the way the windows and a shuttle bus and a school bus work are very different designs. These are stuck in from outside, and then there's a locking ring, which is here. You can see it moving. And there's holes every few inches, and you screw this ring to the outside one where you've put a bunch of sealant around the window, and that creates a clamp all the way around. You can see here where I've replaced the screws in this one. If you don't get all the screws in, when you start going down the road and this thing starts shifting and rattling, then you lose the seal around your window and you could have a leak you don't even know about. So it's important. Let's get this thing put back together. Well, I bet you already guessed it. I'm not done this week. But I made a lot of progress. I destroyed a lot, and then I started building. I did finish getting these windows cleaned up here in the back, because this is going to be our bedroom. And honestly, I like bedrooms with a lot of windows all the way around them. So when you get to somewhere cool, you can park and get a full view of it. You'll make sure you come back next week and see just what this thing is going to end up looking like. It's going to go together pretty quickly. Seeing as how I've already torn everything apart, all I got left is to build, right? We'll see y'all then.